as I was thinking about moments when I was a kid, and I was actually looking for pictures of me in the 90s. And you were looking at pictures of yourself in the 90s.
You made me.
I did.
Because you like that little trend.
I do like the little trend. It's like, hey, mom and dad, what were you like in the 90s? Hey, Keith and Laura, right?
Welcome back to In Residence. I'm Keith.
And I'm Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Keith.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing swell. What are we getting into?
So what I was thinking is it all started with a dream. I feel like I should be in like a musical, like a Vita or something.
So where like the
right?
Camera effect happens.
No, but it all started with a dream. And so last night I had a dream, and when I dream and I remember it, it's normally really vivid. And one part of the dream was that my childhood dog came back, and I was like holding her, and she was like in a swaddle. Like I had her all swaddled in. And so she couldn't move or anything, but she was, like with me and hanging out. And so I was carrying her around this place that we were in. The first thing I do when I have a weird dream, and especially that I don't think I've dreamt of my childhood dog for a long time. Well, yeah, it's got to be a long time. I don't remember when I have. But I go to Chatty and I say, hey, can you help me out and figure out what this dream is about? And so it talked about pieces of my childhood that were very vulnerable, and that I'm working through those pieces still with tenderness and gentleness and care. And that's what that symbolized. I thought, that's really interesting, because I've been working through feelings around my hip, around limited mobility and things like that. And I thought, that really resonated. One of the pieces it said was, against all odds, you are here with me. And I thought, gosh, isn't that so right though? That there's pieces of us from us as children that are still in us. Sometimes they're still really big parts of us. Sometimes they're small little glimmers, but we carry those pieces of us from childhood into adulthood. Sometimes, like I said, unapologetically, sometimes not even realizing that little seed or flame is still there. And I thought it might be kind of fun to talk about what we were like when we were kids in the 90s, and to dig a little deeper than talk about our troll doll collections. Did you have trolls?
I had one.
Oh, I'm not going to tell you how many I had.
It was a hand-me-down.
Oh, I like it.
It didn't have a shirt.
It didn't have a shirt.
I think it had pants.
Okay. I mean, solid.
It basically made it look like a garbage pail kid or something.
Yeah. I don't know if there's other things that you really enjoyed from the 90s.
Like music, Lego. I played hockey. I started playing guitar.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager. And so like that's what I was thinking of, like versus like the nostalgia and stuff of the like Lisa Frank and all that type of stuff,
Yeah, friendship bracelets.
Yeah, snap bracelets.
Yeah, those are fun. Grunge bands.
Yeah.
Like you said, music.
So like all that stuff is like the funny to like think about, and like back to like, back in our day, like we would get candy cigarettes at the gas station and stuff. And it's just like, or like the
I remember, going to that. I remember the candy cigarettes. My friends and I would go to the grocery store, wherever they were. We get them. And then since we live in Wisconsin, you could go outside when it was cold and pretend you were smoking with them. Because when you breathe out, it goes, it looks like a smoke cloud, but it's actually just
hilarious.
Is it though?
I never did that.
Didn't you?
I never thought to do that.
We did that all the time. It only worked 9 months of the year. However, well, maybe not 9. That's a lot, but quite a few months of the year.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some mornings are pretty cold.
Yes, they are. They are. The whole thought was we could dig into what are some of those things that we have brought with us that maybe as kids, I don't know if it was struggled with, but we tried to dim ourselves. You and I have been talking about not wanting to have to dim ourselves in situations.
Well, I feel like, so this kind of feels like we talked about this quite a while ago, but where we were kind of tapping into, and I think that's what we're doing is tapping into like, what were we into
Mm-hmm.
at those pivotal years of like 11, 12 through like 16 and a little older, some of those things, they stay with you, but they, like you said, like under the surface though, they like more grown up responsibilities come, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
you can drive and you're going and doing different things. Some of those things that like playing guitar, it kind of started to fade a little as a little older I got, except for like,
Sure.
luckily I went to school for music,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of after that, other things kind of, I feel like kind of got in the way. Like that's something I've talked about many times on here that I want to get back to, and yet I still struggle, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of what I think of as like, or what are those things that faded a little bit, but like not because we chose to, but maybe
Mm-hmm.
because um there was peer pressure to like
Right.
let go of some things, or this
Or
or that.
even things that as a child you tried to fade or shrink yourself
Yeah.
because you wanted to be something that you weren't, and I think there's some of those pieces for me where, I tried to fit in, try and have people like me, try and, do all these things. And at the end of the day, that's not necessarily what I've found and want to keep holding on to, right? Is people pleasing for the sake of trying to fit in.
Yeah. So
But it's nature, it's human nature a little bit.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
And so are you kind of wanting to dive into what are some things maybe from those kind of teenage years, or I
Hmm.
guess even a little younger for me, um, that were like cues of like our authentic selves, or like the things that like lit us up, or like me finding music and a passion for music, like that was a signal back then, like it's still with me,
Hmm.
you know, and so, and that's not gone away, but it's changed, and I've adapted, and you know, I'm not on a stage performing like I was in high school and college, but I'm still doing things with audio and recording and all
Yeah.
that. So
You might be someday.
yeah,
Never know.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So is that kind of what you want
Yeah.
to talk about?
Yeah. I
Okay.
have, it's, it turned into almost lessons I have for myself now for my younger self. Do you want me to dig into? I know you talked a little bit about music. I didn't even think to talk about music in this. Isn't that interesting? Because I'm such a musical person.
Yeah.
But
Well, I really thought you would like I mean, because you're starting to play music again.
I am. Yes. Yes, I am. I am.
You're,
I'm
you're back on the
I'm even
piano.
recording a little bit.
Yeah.
Weird.
Okay. So I thought that maybe would have come up for you.
No, it wasn't, but that is a piece where I feel like whenever anyone hears that I was a musician, I've been playing piano since I was really little,
Like single digits, right?
like 3, 4. Like
That's really little.
little. Yeah, my grandma used to teach me,
Saying really little is one thing, but then you saying like you were 3,
3 or
that
4.
that's a,
I was little.
yeah.
I was little. I will say having kids and um just being busy and not necessarily having the best access to equipment too. Not having a piano for a while. Now we have my parents' old piano here, which is really fun to have, and a keyboard in Green Bay, so I can play again. It just simply takes time, and I've been finding actually that the last several weeks when I've been practicing, that I go from I'll just go through each song once or twice to being practicing piano for like an hour, hour and a half. And I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. Doing that several days a week. And I feel like it's going better.
You sounded great. Like when you shared like the little recording you did, I'm like, you sound amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm working on
I
it.
know you like you
There's
have a
some
different
runs.
standard than me, but
Yeah. There's some runs I got to fix, but,
yeah.
but yeah, it is fun. And if I was to tell my younger self that I didn't play piano or sing for several years or sing actively, I think is maybe a better way because I sing in the car. We'll sit down and
Yeah.
play a little bit here and there. I don't think she would recognize that person because I was in all the music ensembles. I was doing all the singing and the piano playing. I was a music kid, like through and through, right? My friends were mostly music kids. I was a music major. You know, you and I met because I was playing a guitar and you wandered into my room, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it feels good to get back to it and kind of find that kernel of myself again, more intentionally.
Yeah. Well, and I'm guessing maybe it didn't come up because it is such an integral part of us, and we always find a way to be connected to music, even if it's not us playing it. But like we've mentioned several times, like we'll have a sing along every now and then, like with
absolutely,
with the Apple Music on or whatever, to like musicals or whatever, or just put records on and stuff while we're puzzling. And so I get that, and yeah, that's definitely a spark that I want to continue to like have the kindling for, and to make it kind of fan the flame a little bit more here in the next few months and years as we move forward. So, but what was on the front of your mind, or like what came up? 'Cause that's really, I'm really interested to see like what was on your mind.
So the first thing I thought about, not so much travel in that, oh, I'm going to travel a lot and keep traveling, but more the symbolic piece of what traveling represents. And that I think I continue to believe that life is an adventure, whether it's I'm traveling somewhere new, I'm meeting someone new, I'm doing something new, I'm learning something, right? And like, how do I do this? Or I hit a roadblock and I figure out how to navigate it. Even back when I was a kid, I for the most part, although it was harder when you were a teenager with hormones and things like that, to see the silver lining in things that didn't work out the way you thought they were supposed to. I was always up for a good adventure, always up for a good adventure. And I feel like that's translating less, like I said, less, what is the word when it happens like specifically in that way? Like, I am going to go on an adventure. I am going to Chile and then Peru. You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
I'm trying to say that I used to say an adventure is traveling, synonymous with traveling.
Okay.
Now I think that my interpretation of adventure is a little bit more inclusive and broad.
So it includes traveling, but there's other, like extended trip like we took last summer.
Yep.
To Sweden.
Yep.
That's an adventure.
Absolutely.
But that isn't all that adventure is.
Right. Okay. I mean, I think also trying to play parent-child doubles at a Fun Fest tournament for tennis after not playing tennis for several years was an adventure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. We got shirts. We won one. We lost a few. But it was an adventure getting ready, putting yourself out there, doing it.
So is adventure kind of synonymous with experiencing something for the first time, or experiencing something that you're not quite certain about?
A little bit, like, being open to the possibilities
of
not knowing the ending or not knowing what's in store.
Okay. And so that's something that you want to continue to embrace.
Yes.
Is that openness to possibility.
Yes. And continue to apply a broader definition. Yeah. Beyond just being on an airplane somewhere new.
Yeah.
You know, because I think life's an adventure.
Yeah.
And the multiple years after being a teenager have kind of taught me that. And I think that's a good lesson to keep with me.
Yeah. Well, and I think that brings up a really good idea to hold, is when you were, say, a teenager, adventure meant travel. And these things that we're bringing up from those years, we have to kind of remember that we weren't fully formed then. We weren't complete people. And so there may be a spark there, but like to take it with like a pinch of salt and realize like that we're the same person, but we're also evolved.
Yeah.
And so to not be too hard on ourselves, and moving forward doesn't mean going back. Right? Because like, who wants to go back to some of those turbulent years, right?
Right.
Like,
there's lots of big feels.
Yeah, like,
right?
Like when we can acknowledge that and be like, yep, and that made me stronger. And
sure, my parents have some stories.
Yep, don't really necessarily want to go through that again. But you know, taking you take the good, you take the bad.
Yeah, a little facts of
Facts
life.
of life.
Nice.
Right,
That was a good, right? Good incorporation there. Might have been a little earlier
feel
than
like
the
we've
90s.
done that again. We're definitely like 80s kids, 80s, 90s
80s,
kids.
90s kids. We definitely are.
We're referencing the facts of life again.
I will say though, travel is something that I still like to do, but I just know it doesn't have to be ever the end all be all.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Oh, it makes sense because you're married to me.
What about you? What is on your list?
So hockey came up.
Okay.
Because I started playing hockey in 3rd grade, and I played all through the years in high school. And I wasn't going to go beyond that really, but part of me feels like I could have found a way to keep playing a little bit in some capacity. But maybe this gets into where like it doesn't have to be exactly what I was into like when I was younger. And what it makes me think of is like I mentioned last time we talked, like how you kind of brought up travel and adventure a little bit last time, and I brought up tennis and doing lessons, that starting. I want to continue to find ways to let that athlete inside of me have some room to breathe and to run and move and do athletic things. Growing up, I started skating. My main sport for quite a while. I tried football a couple times. Didn't quite understand the game of football back then. Nobody really explained it to me. I did Little League.
Yeah.
And I had some success in that for a while, but like I didn't play any other sport really in high school. I mean, I ran cross country and track a little bit, like 2 years track, 2 years cross country. But there is there's a competitive side of me and like an athlete inside of me somewhere, and I kind of let it go, the competitiveness never really went away. I've gotten better at managing it and not letting it destroy a game, right?
Yes.
Like Monopoly with you.
Oh gosh, that was
Monopoly
with Keith was hard for me. It might be different now.
It would be different now. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, 20 years ago, I don't know though.
No. I was too young to realize that you don't play like that with the person that you're trying to marry. But yeah, I'm looking forward to embracing sport because it makes like fitness fun, not to sound like sound clippy or whatever, but
reminds me of the class in college, Fit for Life.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said that really condescendingly. I didn't mean to, but it's like one of those class titles that feels like it should have an exclamation point after it.
Yeah.
Like Fit for Life.
Yeah.
Which is important.
I'm a little younger than you, so it's like I was in the 90s, like that was most of my time was playing hockey and like training for hockey and stuff. But
yes,
I am really enjoying tennis.
Yeah.
And I really like watching it, and I like being out on the courts, and I'm learning to not overdo it,
Yes,
like
you don't need you throwing your back out.
Pace myself and like allow it to come. And so
yes.
So yeah, so sport, I guess, is kind of something that it came up, like one of the first things that came up.
Yeah. That has also been a part of me that I have let kind of go by the wayside, at least organized sport. So on and off, I've always been interested in walking and running and weightlifting, like those things over the last several years. But from a tennis standpoint, I really haven't been until child one got into tennis. I'm like, oh, I still got a mean serve. I can do this. I'm not as in shape, but I can serve up some and go toe to toe with him. Probably not anymore because he's gotten way better, but used to be able to beat him.
Yeah, he makes me run.
Yeah, which is kind of fun. I make him run because I can.
For him.
It's fun for him. That's true.
Yeah. Still don't have a great shot.
No. And one thing that came up for me thinking about childhood and now is that something I've learned, and I wish I could go back and tell my younger self, it matters more what you think about yourself and what you're doing rather than what you think other people think of you and what you're doing. I have spent so much of my life and my time worried about what people would think about who I am, how I showed up, what my body looks like, what I'm wearing, if I don't do something soon enough, if I do something too soon. Some people call that anxiety, which is true. It is anxiety. But there's also a piece when you start realizing that you have the power to decide what you let consume you to an extent, and being able to say, you know what? I mean, I just keep thinking about Mel Robbins' book, The Let Them Theory, right? So let them think those things if they're going to think those things. But how about I choose and I can let me do what it is that I want to do?
Right. Control what you can control.
Exactly.
Which isn't that much.
Right.
So therefore, stop wasting your energy on so many things, right?
Exactly. I mean, I remember as a teenager, I spent so many hours just thinking about like how I needed to buy clothes to cover myself up, that I wasn't thin enough. I wasn't athletic enough. I wasn't tall enough. My hair was the wrong color. I didn't wear cool enough clothes. It was like all those things. And some of that comes with the teenage years. But right now I am in awe of watching our oldest, child 1, go through life and just be like, dude, I like vintage t-shirts from grandma's closet, or like, hey, I don't care. That's fine. I'll take that. Just he seems so confident and comfortable with himself. And I wish that I felt that way when I was his age too. But I'm getting there. I haven't arrived, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. Well, I have a inkling of a feeling because I was once a young man. It's a little easier, I think, for us to choose to be a little different or embrace this or that than it is maybe for a young gal.
Yeah.
There's just different things in society, I think.
Yeah. And I remember trying to see like, who are those role models that I should aspire to look like. So, I mean, I'm not kidding. I had subscriptions to Cosmopolitan, Marie Claire, Teen Vogue. I can't remember all the different things because there wasn't social media back then.
Right.
So all the magazines.
That's all just on social media now.
Right. Now it's all on social media. I can't even imagine kids now because it impacts me too of like, oh, look at that Amazon time capsule dress for your female archetype, whatever is out there.
Okay.
You're like, I have no idea.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I really don't.
It's basically the concept that if you're a woman over 40, there are certain pieces based on how you want to present yourself that you should dress like. And I let that into my head when really, why? You know what I mean? I went through a phase where I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to dress like Claire Danes. I dyed my hair. I'm going to wear grungy looking things. I'm going to wear lots of, not fleece. Flannel, right? And bodysuits and flannel. And I was like, oh, now I'm going to look like Alicia Silverstone from Clueless, right? Like what sort of things can I wear that are kind of fancy and classic? And some of it's just the times, but I was definitely chasing something or trying to feel more comfortable in my own skin at that age.
That age, we're trying to belong.
Exactly.
Right. So, and you're trying to find your identity. And while you're trying to do that, like you said, the hormones, insecurities, all the things are going through your head and you're just trying things on, so it's like, I mean, we're definitely not going to that's like not what we're trying to romanticize is like that toil, but like getting back because it's a lot of us, it's like high school and like those teenage years, like they're still with us. Like if you don't take some time to sit and realize it, like sometimes that's really what the problem is. Sometimes you're feeling like am I at the cool table at lunch? Like that can still be something that's somehow coming up.
But that is one thing that I want to bring with me is just that recollection of, hey, remember when you felt like you were trying to make decisions just to belong or just to feel like you were trying to check the social boxes. You don't need to do that. You can be you and you can find your people. Sorry, you can tell I'm passionate about it because I'm still trying to embrace little Laura and say, no, it's okay to do you.
Yeah.
Are there other things that you thought of as someone growing up in the 90s that just is like a glimmer of who you were that you're excited to keep bringing through with you?
I liked Lego. Like, you can probably see Lego in a shot
Sure
here.
you can. Now that I could grab one.
You got Lego flowers right by you. No, you don't touch them.
Don't touch my stuff.
Don't touch my stuff.
Don't touch my stuff.
Yeah. The artist inside of me wanting to build and create things. I downplay my creative artistic side because I dabble in it. Like I didn't go to school for visual arts or painting or anything, but thinking back to like being young and like Lego was an extension of art for me, and like I would create things like not just from like the booklets, and the sets. I would tear them apart and I would make my own stuff and little like car models, like not Lego, but like the one like snap together ones that you would get at like a wall, like not Walgreens. What was it around here? Ben Franklin.
I used to get Barbie shoes at Ben Franklin.
Little stuff like that, like or like erector sets. Like I don't know if you had that growing up.
I don't think I did.
But just tinkering with things. But like like I didn't go into until like I was like 30 something. I didn't go into trades really, but like like I didn't go into a trade when I was out of high school. I didn't really build with my hands, but like it was more of like a creative artistic thing. And I liked to draw when I was younger. I was into comic books and I would draw like on my own and stuff, like kind of like you see our kids doing now, like that's why like we have like is it last time you talked about storage and like the never ending struggle? It's like, because we have so many art supplies. I think you and I are on the same page with this. Like we will not say no to buying our kids books, art supplies, it's the other thing, like paper, right? So that they can do the art on it, and create. Like, there was a while where I'm like, oh my gosh, they're wasting so much tape, and you're like, let them. They're building things with, like
they were
things like that, or like the Brads and stuff, like creating like armor out of cardboard and stuff.
It's like let them be creative. I love cardboard creations.
Yeah. So I think because there's the love of that inside of me, like that's why I wanted to make sure our kids had it too. And I just want to make sure that I'm making time for it. Or again, like I can use tasks and chores like we talked about last time as a way to hide from like, oh no, I can't do that fun passion thing because I had to go do that chore. It's like, no, like
just get that chore done and then do your stuff.
Yeah, stop hiding from that passion and embrace it, and just like we always talk about like letting go of being perfect, right? Like that's the biggest thing that I think probably stopped me as a younger person in the arts was, oh, I'm not good enough. It doesn't look the way I want it to look. That's probably what stopped me back then. And now that doesn't really stop me. There's other things that stop me, but like I can see it. I can see I'm getting in my own way. So that's all I got.
Yeah, that's a good one. So my last one is, again, it's me looking back at little Laura and saying, or teenage Laura, and saying, don't dim yourself for other people. Let yourself sparkle. And that is just something that I can see how middle school really dimmed that sparkle. I think I learned how to dim it. And as a teenager, I kind of maintained that. It came back a little more in college as I got more and more comfortable about who I was and why would I want to be around people that don't like who I am and what I like or believe in or value. And so I would just say, you're going to find your people. Don't dim yourself.
The young years are times where you learn how to put on a mask and how to armor up.
Yeah,
That's
that's true.
So figuring out how to remove that or to make sure that it's not blocking out the things that'll make your life more fulfilling or enriched is an exercise worth going about and figuring out how to do, because not only have you grown, but all the people that are probably going to be around you have grown, and so you probably don't need as much armor as you once had, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Very true.
Yeah.
One thing I want to emphasize about the not dimming yourself is around not being afraid to let your quirky side show. This was definitely modeled for me, I will say. And I think you probably can guess who I'm talking about. My dad.
Yeah.
My dad, and I actually had a cousin say to me a couple years ago, you know what? He just does what he does, and he doesn't worry about what people are thinking about it. But it has created so many fun experiences and sometimes things where I know you're like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do air guitar. Like, what is happening? I'll admit I'm not as free as I think he is sometimes, which I commend, but he's doing, he does him. We gave him a shirt that says, I'm Bruce doing Bruce things.
Yeah.
And I will stand by that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe it's a perfect little call out right before Father's Day for him.
There you go. Yeah. Don't take yourself so seriously, right?
Right. Yeah, I think we can all learn that lesson. Do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
I love you. You got it, dude.
Nice pull.
Thanks.